I was recording when something impossible happened. My son accidentally spilled ketchup on himself. He looked up and saw my camera pointing right at him. He begged me to delete the footage. I was about to erase it when my finger slipped onto the rewind button, and then everything around me started moving backwards. Time itself rewound to the exact moment he picked up that ketchup bottle. I stood there frozen, watching the impossible unfold before my eyes. I told him to stop what he was doing.
Didn't you just squirt the ketchup on yourself?
But he just looked at me like I'd lost my mind. I tried to explain what had just happened. He stared at me blankly. I let out a breath. Maybe it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But our strange conversation caught someone's attention. A cop sitting nearby was watching us. A chill ran down my spine. We left the restaurant. On the highway, that feeling only grew stronger. My son turned on some music to help me relax. He pressed down on the gas. Something felt wrong. I told him to slow down. He grabbed the camera instead, wanted to capture my nervous expression. That's when we heard it, the scream of police sirens behind us. He pulled over. I told him to stay calm and be polite. He rolled down the window with a smile, and there he was, the same cop from the restaurant. I explained we were just driving my son to college, but his eyes were cold, hostile. He asked if we had any weapons in the car. I forced a smile and said no. He turned to my son and asked if he knew why he'd been stopped. My son barely contained his frustration and said it was for speeding.
Since you admitted it, I'll let that go. However, you were operating a handheld device while driving a motor vehicle.
The cop's eyes landed on the camera. He demanded to know if we were filming. Then he lunged for it. In the chaos, my hand found the rewind button. Time collapsed backwards again. Everything reversed before my eyes. When I came back, we were at the moment my son first picked up the camera. He saw the terror on my face and put it down. I asked him frantically where the cop had gone. He had no idea what I was talking about. He didn't remember any of it. My heart was pounding. I made him pull over. I stepped out with the camera, trying to make sense of it all. That's when I saw the police car catching up. My son waved him over, thinking I needed medical attention, but I knew what was coming. The same cop stepped out. He ignored my son's plea for help. He mocked us instead. He ordered my son to get off the highway immediately. My son snapped back at him. Cop drew his gun. I slammed my finger on the rewind button. Time unraveled once more. This time, I went all the way back to the restaurant. I looked around desperately. There he was, eating his meal, glaring at us with pure disgust. I grabbed my son and told him we were leaving right now. If we could get out before he finished breakfast, maybe we'd escape him. I pushed my son into the passenger seat. I drove onto the highway carefully, watching my speed like my life depended on it. Halfway down the road, I made a sharp U-turn. I cut across the grass and took a completely different route. The dread wouldn't leave me. I prayed that changing our path would change our fate. My son had no idea why I was acting this way. Nothing I said made sense to him. After driving far enough, my body couldn't take the tension anymore. I found a motel. I hoped that resting there would throw the cop off our trail. Lying in that motel room, I finally exhaled. The TV was showing the lottery numbers. An idea struck me. I pointed the camera at the screen and hit record. When the drawing ended, I pressed rewind. Time rolled back to the start of the broadcast. I smiled and made a bet with my son. If I could predict every winning number, he'd have to trust me completely from now on. The numbers on screen matched mine exactly. His jaw dropped. For a moment, the air between us felt lighter. Then came a knock at the door. My son opened it. There he stood, the same cop.